I did some things in my life that I'm very glad about. I can put my name to. They were in times of great darkness and not of this thing. I want to make a valediction. So I am in city, and I will die on that kind of thing. That you know.
Each one seems to be different.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can lay. I mean, you know, we can lay out more of the skin. Their skins and their shoulders. So which part of the, you know, it is different all over. This is completely regular all over the whole lot. That's why it's artificial. This is not artificial.
You know, this whole time I was convinced that I was carrying the most tasteful, the most expensive, elegant leather bag in the world.
Yeah.
You know, I bought it with that intention.
Yeah, yeah.
You're telling me this is faux leather.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just totally like flabbergasted. Like,
well, I also made the point. I mean, it is my thing. So why do you know, this is quite expensive. I mean, another leather gets really expensive.
Do you know how much that bag costs you?
Well, I mean, what's being bought is, you know, the genius of the design and you know, this kind of the appeal of this. So I can imagine it was expensive. Even, do you remember the little hand thing that you were kind enough to give me, actually, because you spilled some smell in it. You didn't like the smell of it or whatever. But you told me that it was very expensive. You said something like 400 JDs for that kind of thing. But also, again, the leather to which the extent to which it is leather, it is an artificial grain, and you know, pesticide.
This is just under 4,000 pounds.
Yeah, well, you know. But I mean, you know, somebody advised me that go and start making computer bags because you can sell them. I mean, as we heard, 3,000. But you know, it's a genius of production. It's a genius of design. I am a little bit old school, so I actually like leather, and I can tell you the whole world now, you know, is not so enthusiastic about natural leather. It doesn't have the appeal, you know. It's and you know, the consistency is, well, I don't like this. Well, you know, unfortunately, it was an animal, you know. Like,
it takes education to do. That's all it is.
Although, having said that, going to the site that I will sell you, send you. I mean, as you know, leather like Los Tivales is Nebraska is very soft. And other leather is, or even bridal leather, is much more uniform. And the briefcases that I was very inspired to. I made them. I mean, I made some very nice briefcases, and they did sell for a lot. These things are assumed to be leather. And they are to leather as you know, MDF is to wood or chipboard is to wood. The problem with leather from which is my world, I like you know, real, as I say, full grain, but it's not artificially grained leather, and vegetably tanned. These leathers. I mean, the problem with that is that people will object to marks on the natural marks on an animal's skin. The skin comes off the animal with different parts, the shoulder going all the way around to the belly, and the graining of it is different. There are accidental marks, scars, and all sorts of things. And then people make an objection to that. And then the answer to this becomes... to artificially grain it. I mean, to override the grain that exists there, and then which is standard practice as well, is what is called pigment. Pigmenting. It's a plastic paint, basically.
Yeah.
So when you end up with something which the animal itself would certainly not recognise as being part of. Yeah, or the animal's mother wouldn't recognise it at all. I'm not saying either. People have preferences. I mean, the thing that I do find interesting is that more and more we come into a world where the natural and real thing is not acceptable, and people prefer very, very definitely an artificial thing, and that's fine for people. I mean, and I'm not disparaging anybody. Well, one observation, I'm going to go in a minute anyway, but the one observation is, I mean, this is not, what we do is kind of a little bit ridiculous. It's hand sewn, and it's, it's hand sewn. It's kind of completely insane. This is very nice machine sewing. I mean, there's a big difference, and I mean, the world that you're talking about is much more a world of production, volume production,
appearances.
Well, I mean, I was talking about the production of it, but as it goes to the appearances, it is actually meaningful design. What is the wow factor in this one? Is it was an amazing guy who designed it. I mean, and that's what you're buying. This is Johnny Ives. There you go. I mean, and that's actually is it the logo. I mean, all of these kind of things, which I mean, there was a Vogue here for. Actually, I've got something which is imitation of. But anyway, what you're buying there, I mean, it's the name, and rightly so.
I refuse to do it without you, Sidi.
No,
if you're in, then.
No, I'm in for as long as I'm alive, Sidi. I'm 70 years old, and I'm trying to. I mean, I've got all sorts of loose ends of my life that I'm trying to, and I'm also trying to, which is actually resonant completely with it, to make a valediction of my life. What I've been doing for the last 10 years at least, or has not been. I did some things in my life that I'm very glad about. I can put my name to. They were in times of great darkness and not of this thing. I want to make a valediction. So I am in Sidi, and I will die on that kind of thing. There,
Can we shake on it?
Yeah, we can shake on it, Sidi. I mean, and until I die, with the object of realizing ihsan. Anyway, Sidi, force aside. I mean, I don't know, walking down the street with my earplugs in, and whatever, and with all the thoughts I was going down to Antoine. Antoine's an amazing guy, and I love him, and I love all that he does. But I was thinking, it's all kind of the wrong thing, and so into this mush of things. You were there as well, and I was just lamenting the fact that I'm not. I just do things in the wrong place. When I make things, I've got no way of outletting them. All we've ever done is lose money, and and the more complicated and more elaborate the thing there is, the more money we lose. It's like the more we go on. And I just made the quote when my former wife said, like, for heaven's sake, stop working, because we can't. We haven't got any more money to lose. So I mean, for society, the Arabs say means something else by it. I always think for society it was a very blessed opportunity. I mean, no?
Happy opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so with your leave, I mean, if I don't see you.
It's always wonderful to see you, Sidi. And I want to thank you, especially for